There's no cure, and there's not even any real treatment. The treatment is just to keep the patient comfortable and essentially fed and watered. This is a very dangerous virus, as you pointed out, and there's really very little that modern medicine can do for this. Most of what Doctors Without Borders is doing, which is actually working against this, is tracing the contacts of all the people who have been infected to try and find out who else might have picked up the virus.
So it's as basic as that, really. But if it's spread human to human, presumably there's an incubation period, so you don't know when it's going to appear across the region. Is it as infectious as you might think?
Well, the virus, as I said, is small and rather fragile, and it's wrapped up in a kind of a bubble. And if the bubble breaks at all, then the virus is absolutely dead. So the virus itself isn't particularly infectious. But once you get it, the virus is horrible, and once it latches on, more often than not, it is actually fatal. It causes a sort of an immunological bad reaction inside your body. Your white blood cells start attacking you instead of attacking the virus, and this is essentially what causes your organs to fail.
You say in cases it can be fatal, but there are survivors. What are the survival rates? What are the chances that these people in Guinea have if they contract the virus?
So the few sequences that have come back on this virus seem to be 98% identical to the most dangerous strain. This one kills, on average, about 75% of the people who are infected with it. So far, the death rate is only in the mid-60% range, but a lot of the people that have caught the virus are still infected, and this may rise in coming days. The real worry, though, is that the virus has been found in Conakry. This is a city with a population density of close to 10,000 per square kilometer, and setting one of these very, at least mildly contagious viruses loose in that kind of population center really has the risk of a humanitarian disaster.
And it is one of the factors in Conakry and in Guinea and its wider region, the fact that the infrastructure isn't there. If this were to, say, outbreak in the UK, we'd be able to deal with it more effectively.
Quite possibly. And Guinea is actually somewhat lucky that it's happened in Guinea, because there's more infrastructure there than perhaps in Liberia or in Sierra Leone, places that have had 1 and 2 civil wars in the last 25 years. A lot of the infections happen in remote villages, and this is a mixed blessing. It sort of limits the infection, but at the same time it makes it very difficult to get medical people in to treat and isolate the people who are there.